The Orchidaceae family is one of the largest and most diverse plant families in the world, with over 880 genera and 26,000 species. Commonly known as orchids, they are found all over the world, and there are over 50 species of orchids found in Alabama alone. No genera of orchid is more diverse than the Bulbophyllum genus, sitting at over 2,000 existing species, with most of them being found in warm climates all over the world. All orchids can be divided into two growth types, the first being monopodial. Representing Orchidaceae in this category is Phalaenopsis. These orchids grow a single stem from which all other leaves and flowers grow from. The second type is sympodial, and representing the Orchidaceae family in this category is Dendrobium. These orchids grow multiple shoots from a rhizome, a horizontal stem. Most genera of Orchidaceae are sympodial. Orchids are monocots. Their unique flowers have bilateral symmetry and consist of two whorls with 3 petals and 3 sepals. The sepals are usually very similar to the petals, but can occasionally be completely distinct. In some families, some or all of the sepals are fused together. Most families have 1 stamen, but a few genera retain 2 or 3. The filaments of the stamens are always fused. The ovaries of orchids are always inferior. While there are a lot of different genera of orchid, only 1 genera of orchids is edible, and they are the ones tasked with producing vanilla bean. This fleshy fruit produces a bean that is then soaked in an alcohol solution to extract the flavor. These plants, typically grown in Madagascar or tropical habitats, serve a very important economic purpose. Primarily being used for profit, they are the second most expensive spice and are $270 per pound. The Guinness World Record holder for the largest orchid species, Grammatophyllum speciosum, is native to Indonesia. It goes by many names such as the tiger orchid, giant orchid, sugarcane orchid, and queen of the orchids. The white-fringed bog orchid is distributed along the east coast. The variation conspicua is found in Alabama. While it is common in some other states, it is now quite rare in Alabama. 5 populations had been observed in recent years, but now a 3-acre bog in South Baldwin County is suspected to be the last population remaining in the state. This is the rosebud orchid, which is native to Alabama and usually found in bogs or wetlands. The dragon's mouth orchid is found throughout Canada and the eastern and central United States, usually in acidic conditions. Its flowers are fragrant but have almost no nectar to reward pollinators, meaning mainly young, inexperienced bees usually visit them. Most orchids use some sort of deception in the process of pollination, such as being very fragrant but lacking nectar. This orchid in particular will mimic the look, feel, and olfactory traits of different female bees and wasps to get males to try and mate with the flower. During attempted copulation, pollination occurs. The ovary of an orchid will typically develop into a capsule. Orchid seeds are among the smallest of all angiosperms, averaging around the size of a speck of dust. A single capsule of the tropical American orchid, Sinochis chlorochyllon, produces almost 4 million seeds. Ancient Greeks believed that the gender of an unborn baby could be determined by eating orchid tubers. If a man consumed large orchid tubers, his wife would give birth to a boy. On the other hand, if the wife consumed small orchid tubers, she would bear a girl. The largest individuals on record of the tiger orchid have weighed 2 tons and reached 25 feet tall. Some species of orchids are parasitic, gathering nutrients from the fungi that share soil with them. Some orchid species can live up to 100 years. The oldest orchid fossil dates back 20 million years. The smallest species of orchid has flowers that only grow up to 2 millimeters in length. This is an image of the phylogenetic tree for Orchidaceae. As you can see, it is a very early descendant of the common ancestor. And you can pause the video right here if you would like to look at it further.